Welcome everybody to 90 Day Fiancé Fridays on a Sunday night to discuss Happily Ever After question mark. We're here with George and Gina and Pineapple Girl. What's cracking?
What's up, guys? What's up? So
What's up?
tonight was episode 4, and the irony of it was I felt like it was episode 400
Mm-hmm.
because it's I don't know, like we just started, but it seems like we've been watching this for an eternity because all of these people we've been watching for far too long. Like you open your refrigerator and there's like some cheese or some milk in your refrigerator that's past the expiration date, but somehow it you didn't catch it and
Mm-hmm.
now it's all moldy and gross. That's what I feel like the cast this season are. They're all past their expiration date, and I'm trying to figure out why the hell we're still watching these people. Like
You know,
it's
you know how you said it's episode 400? To me, it's like episode 300, as in the movie 300, where the Greek people kick you into a pit.
I do feel like I've been kidnapped and waterboarded. It's like watching the scenes is almost like, well, no, I think I tweeted out earlier. I was like, I feel like I'm doing community service, like for a crime I didn't commit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I feel like watching this show is a charity, it's a community service. I shouldn't be forced to do it, but I'm doing it. And I feel like it's unjust punishment. Like, what did we do to deserve this type of punishment? Like, who did we
I feel
piss
like
off?
I'm in like detention. Like
Yeah,
I'm
like
in school and I'm like in detention and I'm just like sitting there for the time to go by.
yeah, it's like you're in school and it's like the class assignment is a teacher shoves a TV on a cart into the classroom and says, "All right, you're going to watch this for the next 2 hours."
Yeah, and you're like, what did I do to deserve this? And it's like,
Then you have to write a report on it.
Mhm.
well,
Yeah, this guy was short.
Brandon and Julia made their debut, and instead of bringing a fresh new storyline to Happily Ever After, we are recycling their last resort storyline of Julia doesn't think she can have kids and doesn't want kids, and Brandon is trying to force her to go to the doctor to see if they can have kids, and his mom is there too. So we're basically recycling the exact same storyline that we were living in the last resort, which we also did not ask for. Like,
Yeah.
you know how you go to a restaurant and you order food and then they bring you like some bread and you're like, oh, I didn't even ask for this. Thank you. This is like the opposite of that. Like we went to the restaurant and instead of us bringing bread like to our table, they didn't bring anything and the waitress is ignoring us. Like that's how I felt. Like I feel like we're being punished because I was like, why wouldn't you at least force them to come up with a storyline? I feel like if you're gonna cast somebody on a TV show, they should be forced to bring something useful to the table. Like, just stop letting people just show up to work with no plan. Because I feel like they just let Julia and Brandon show up with nothing to bring to the table. So they're just there, kind of like Lauren and Alexi this season. They have nothing to bring to this season. They're not adding anything. But I guess since there's a producer somewhere in Sharp or wherever that likes these people, they're just letting people coast on through, bringing absolutely no positive anything to anyone. Like they're just letting people do whatever they want now.
Even the freaking when they did the role playing as like the pizza delivery boy, like even that was like so lame as fuck.
It's disgusting. And I don't want to be rude, but like whenever I look at Brandon's face, all I see is his mother
Mhm.
because his mother is literally him with a 60s wig on, like a mullet wig. Like they're literally the same person. So like the idea of him and Julia talking about it's like I don't even need to see it, just them talking about it makes me want to hurl all over the everywhere. Like it just disgusts me.
We
But
need to
I think when I realized that they weren't even coming with anything worth talking about, I think that's when I was even more like angry because I was like, well, let me give them a chance. Let's hear them out. Let's see what they're arguing about. And then when they discussed that it was the same shit that we just finished on the last resort, I was like, so they're going to they made us watch what was the last resort? 15, 16 episodes of nothing. And now they're going to give us another 20 episodes of nothing, talking about the same exact thing that we just watched. Like, I feel like I'm being punished and I want to speak to someone. Like at this point, I need to file a complaint. Like whoever did the casting for this season, I want to file a formal complaint.
Like I at least like back in whatever season it was when they had Julia like trying to be a stripper, and that was at least amusing looking at her audition.
Yeah, because yeah, that was amusing. I mean, they could have at least forced everyone who wanted to participate to bring something to the table. Like, I know when they cast for certain shows, like obviously the single life, the first question they ask you is, are you dating? Are you seeing anyone? Is there something going on in your dating life? Because you need something to work with. But it seems like the happily ever after casting director is just like, oh, you don't even need to bring anything to the table. We're just going to show up to your house and film you doing absolutely nothing. People will love it. And I'm like, who are the people you're referring to? Because I don't know those people.
Hmm. All right, let's move on from Brandon and Julia. What did you think about the car scenes? And then also the part where she was saying he moved out and then he accused her of cheating. And then I feel like I'm not saying she was physically cheating, but I feel like she definitely had like she was probably having an
Oh,
emotional affair.
yeah. I was gonna say emotional cheating.
Yeah.
Why? Why are y'all saying that? So you think that she was talking to a guy like on the phone? Is that what y'all was trying to say? Like a producer or a mixer? I don't know, whoever she's talking to.
I think she was having I think she was having an emotional affair. Yeah, I feel like she was so
What?
disconnected from him where it's like I'm not saying
But is it because the way it was described that she was giggling at her phone, and then when he asked who it was, she said, "None of your business"? Is that why? Because I don't know. That was a weird response. You
Mhm,
know what? But I mean, I know in the music industry, you could be in the studio for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours at a time. It
mhm.
doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing anything nefarious, right? I think that I
Well,
don't know. I don't know if I want to go as far as to say that she was actually cheating on him.
like, can I? This is like this doesn't have to do with 90 Day Fiance, but it reminds me of car. If I could do a total like sidebar, but like I was friends with this chick. I must have been in like the friend zone because when you're in the friend zone, you get the chick kind of tells you all these stories, like not caring how they come across. So like anyway, I'll even tell you the first name, but like I was friends with this chick named I don't know if I should say. Well, I'll say her name. Maybe I shouldn't say the name. But anyway, she was just like she's a chick from like Baltimore who's like a like an independent, kind of like a car in the sense of like independent musician type, like singer, but just independent, not like not like signed to a label or anything.
Okay.
And then like she would tell me stories like, yeah, I was hanging out with like I was hanging out with like a, like indie independent music producer, this guy, and then and blah blah blah. And she's like, yeah, this is her talking, like, yeah, I let him fuck me in the ass. And
What?
then I was like, oh damn, like why are you telling me this? Like, I don't know, she's being very open and upfront. And I was like, damn, I didn't know independent music producers like have it like that, where they get in your pants and and you let them put it in your ass.
Well, yeah, we're not talking about somebody who has like any credits, certifiable credits that you can,
Yeah, this
look
wasn't like
up.
a famous producer. This is like an independent dude, probably in his like bedroom with like a keyboard and shit.
Well, yeah, everyone that has any guy that's graduated from a DJ is now a producer, and there's no like real certification involved. It's just you graduated yourself to the next level. Like that's kind of how it works. So,
You're a DJ, you're a mixer,
well, yeah,
a
you
jack
just
of all trades.
you're a grown man who wants to dabble in the music industry. So there's no college course that you take. You appoint yourself to that title.
Yeah,
So
so I guess only the takeaways from those stories is one, I must have been in the friend zone for her to tell me that shit and not really care about what I think about it. And B, yeah, those little car, if she's like in, in music studios with guys like male producers and shit, something's going down. But I feel like at that point it was probably just more emotional than anything else, obviously.
yeah, I don't think that she was out giving it up just to anybody. I don't know her. Like, I don't want to say like she's not that type. Like, if it was Sophie from Sophie and Rob, then I'll be
Oh
like,
God.
oh yeah, everybody. It would be harder to meet somebody who hasn't been in that than who has. So like, yeah, but I don't think Kara is that type. But there was a tweet that came out tonight that really disturbed me, and I wanted to bring it up. So somebody said that Cara should have thought about her career in singing and doing all this before she got married and had a baby. And that was a disturbing statement for me because I was like, so wait, if a woman has a baby and gets married, then is she supposed to hang up her dreams and never ever try to do anything outside of being a mom and a wife? Because I was like, I don't really agree with that. Because
Mhm.
they were like, well, no, she shouldn't be doing this because she's married and has a kid. And I was like, there's plenty of women in the music industry that are married and have kids that still are able to perform and put out music. Mariah Carey being one, she has kids and she's not married, but you know she messes around with men every now and then, and she's got kids. Like I don't like the idea that a woman once she has a baby, she's only a mother. I think
Mhm.
that's really unfair because men can have kids, a shit ton of kids, and they can still have their career. But for some reason, people tend to think that she's got kids. She shouldn't be doing anything but breastfeeding that baby. Like, I feel like that's really fucked up to say. Because, like, why can't a woman do more than one thing?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, she could do whatever she wants. Though, like if let's say if though it's like if let's just say Car. I mean, I'm a fan of her in the sense, but like let's say Car was my girlfriend, and I'm looking at her Instagram right now, and she's like in Spain with like produce music types and producers, and she's in the DJ booth all night and like some Spanish clubs, like. And I was sitting at home like as a stepfather type with her son, like that would be kind of it would be uncomfortable seeing her in Spain and shit.
So you're saying that it would bother you that she was living her best life?
Yeah, like I would have a hard time. It would just if you look at her Instagram stories, you're like, Jesus Christ, like
See, I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if it's fair that if you don't have something going on, you want your girlfriend to also not have something going on. I don't know if that's fair. I
I know
think
it's not fair,
that
but if the roles are reversed, if the roles are reversed where let's say Car is at home taking care of I guess let's just, I don't know, the hypothetical would be like it's your son. So Cara's at home taking care of babysitting your son, and you're in like France, like, performing at a
doesn't that like describe every male celebrity in the world? Like they are
no,
doing that.
I'm just saying like I'm sure Cara in that if the roles are reversed, she'd be like at home, but I should be should be bitter probably, I would think.
No, maybe. I mean, I'm not saying that because I'm not in that situation, so I don't know how I would react. But I just didn't like. I saw these tweets going back and forth, and what bothered me was people were like, "I agree, she's a mom. She shouldn't be out performing and dancing." And I was like, Jennifer Lopez is a mom, and last time I checked, her ass is always hanging out on stage.
I
Like,
think yeah, I think it's so I think some of the differences is like if she's actually like making millions of dollars, that changes things a little. But if she's just out there like on the independent tip of like, hey, I'm my own company, quote unquote, is like flying myself out. I'm paying my own way. I'm meeting some DJs, but I'm still like working with independent producers, like, and I'm not really making much money overall. It's kind of like that situation still, which I don't know. It's weird. Yeah, it's like it's
it's a weird deal, but also I wanted to bring up a inconsistency with the show. So in the first episode, Cara said that Guillermo immediately, like randomly, quit his job at the restaurant. If you remember that, and then tonight he was working at the restaurant. So how do we explain that? Because
well,
on
I thought he quit the job at the hotel and then he got the job at the restaurant.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay, because I was like, I'm confused. I thought he quit the job at the restaurant. Okay, so he quit the job at the hotel where he had benefits, and
Yeah,
then he became a waiter at the
yeah,
restaurant.
yeah.
Okay, now I'm following along. Because I was like, I'm confused. I thought that he wasn't working. I thought that was the whole premise of the storyline was he wasn't working. But I guess he is working. He's just not working the type of career that she thinks that he should have. Which that's another thing. It kind of bothers me too because this tweet went out earlier by somebody else too. They were like, "How come Kara's allowed to chase her dreams and do whatever makes whatever her aspirations are, but Guillermo's not allowed to be a pilot?" And I was like, the double standard is men are supposed to be providers from the moment they turn 18. They're supposed to provide for anyone that is in a relationship with them, whatever anyone around them becomes their responsibility. And men are always supposed to provide no matter what, and whatever their dreams are, it doesn't matter. They have to provide. And I was like, it is a double standard because Kara is like doing whatever she wants, right? Like she's able to travel, she's doing music, she'll do real estate, whatever pops into her head is something that she wants to do in her life. She's gonna do it without anyone questioning her. And a lot of people online were like, why doesn't he get the same respect? Right?
Mhm.
Like, why can't he chase the dream of being a pilot? And I don't disagree, but I do think a pilot. Remember, we were talking about how you need like thousands and thousands of hours
Mhm.
or whatever. Like, so being a pilot is like a 2 to 5 year plan before
Yeah.
you can actually start making money.
Mhm.
So, and I think Kara looks at it as, well, I could actually put a single out and it takes off and I could be making money within a year, right? Or
Yeah.
less than a year. And I think that she thinks that her dreams are more fast track than his dreams, but I don't think that that's the case. I think dreams are dreams, right? Sometimes they take off, something most usually they don't. But I don't know, a lot of
Well, yeah, I
fans
mean,
are,
like Kara could still, yeah, like even if her singles don't take off, she could still probably like book a show as like Kara from 90 Day I know can't, I know she can't like bill it as 90 Day Fiancé, like she can put that in the poster, but Kara for the
oh,
podcast, Kara from
exactly. Look at
Fiancé,
Sarper. Sarper is booking shows based on the fact that he's on 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After, and I think he's on 90 Day Fiance OG. He's booking shows simply because he was on a TV show. Does he have any talent? That's to be determined, right? We don't know. But the fact that he was on that show and people know who he was, and I've spoken to people at his shows, people are just freaking out that he's Sarper from the show. They're
Yeah.
buying a ticket just because he's Sarper from the show. So you're right. If Cara was to go to some venue and say, I'm Cara from a reality TV show, put this flyer up and I'm going to do a show here, people would show up because
Yeah.
she's from a TV show. So you're right.
Yeah, so she had so even if she's not like J Lo, like she still can get going to club, and I would like if she was local to me, I would go see her, to say to meet her and shit. So yeah, like she actually will earn money that way versus Guillermo, he can't say, "Hey, I'm a junior pilot, come to this like landing strip, and then you could meet me for $5." Well,
Well,
good.
no,
Well, you could
no.
appearance fee, but it's not him being a pilot, really. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a little different because she does have a marketable skill. She is a singer. She has a gimmick. So she has kind of like Sarper. Sarper has a gimmick. You come see me as a comedian, right?
Yeah.
Or it's Car, you come see me as a singer. Guillermo would just be like, you come see me as a waiter at this restaurant. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
have a gimmick to use to lure people out to buy the ticket. So that's his issue there.
True. So yeah, that's the whole situation. And all I'll say is Kara's lucky I'm friends with her because normally I probably would like I remember her first season I would give her grief, but still I don't have it in me anymore to give her grief.
I don't know. I'm not mad at her.
Mhm.
I feel like she had too much expectation from Guillermo. I think that
Yeah.
he's a bare minimalist type of guy, right? He's probably skated by being the younger looking attractive guy, and he's never really had to try very hard at anything because he and then finding an American woman and her moving you to the US, he probably thought that he won the lottery, and he
Mhm.
didn't, and trying hard was out of the books for him. And I think that when he got over here, she shifted her expectation to, I'm a woman, I should be taken care of. He should be doing more to take care of me. And I don't think Guillermo was ever that person. He was never going to take care of anyone. He probably can barely take care of himself. Right. So that whole thing is crazy. I think it is interesting that she kicked him out of the house because he asked who she was talking to. Because I was like, I'm not on anybody's side, but if I ask you who you're talking to and you say none of my business, and then I persist, and then you kick me out of the house, that kind of makes it seem like you are doing something wrong,
Yeah, like you
right?
are an emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because I was like, so why am I getting kicked out? Because I asked you, or because I caught you? Because I was like, asking a question doesn't mean that I gotta pack my shit and leave. So like it definitely makes it seem like something's going on because I was like, he asked you who you were talking to, and instead of you just handing him your phone and showing him that it's innocent, you kicked him out of the house. So that's leading me to believe that there's some shit in those text messages you don't want him to see.
Yeah, I think it was this thing where it's like I don't know if they had a fight over like that was over that turned into like a real fight, a blow up. I guess it did, but like I feel like I don't know. I'm probably like what's it called, projecting or whatever. But like, I feel maybe Cara. I know sometimes like maybe she could have set like sometimes I think when a woman's like cheating or something emotionally, even she'll set like a trap in the sense of like a trap of like something to start a fight, and then you know what I mean, like a booby trap that leads into a fight, an argument, and then the argument leads into like, oh, now that we're having an argument after I set this booby trap for you that you stepped into, Guillermo, now you need to move out the house because we just had this fight. So I feel like some shit like that could happen.
Oh, so she needed a reason to get rid of him. I mean,
Yeah.
they hadn't been sleeping in the same room, and I don't know. I'm leaning towards they probably were already broken up before filming started because it kind of seems like they were reenacting a breakup.
Yeah.
So that's just the vibe I was getting. When Chantel and Pedro reenacted their breakup for the final season of the final Chantel, the Family Chantel. I feel like we're leaning towards that because the way that they were sitting next to each other in the moment videos and how they were interacting with each other, it seemed like they had already broken up and there's animosity. So I'm leaning towards the fact that they had already broken up before filming started, but they were like, we gonna get this money. So they broke up for the cameras because it didn't seem very genuine to me.
Yeah, I agree. Like and even like when they were in the orchard or whatever the fuck, Peach Orchard, like you could tell those scenes or that episode or whatever, she had this like real deep down disdain for him, like the almost like the way Jasmine would seethe towards Gino. She had the same seething energy towards Guillermo.
Yeah, yeah, I saw it. I picked up on it. And did you see the tweets tonight? Everyone was really happy to see Jasmine sitting on the side of the road with her coffee machine and her $21 worth of clothes. Um,
Hmm.
and they were like, "That's exactly
$21 free clothes from
yeah,
Fashion Nova.
yeah, her
For
$21 worth of clothes." And they were like, "This is exactly what you do with trash. You leave it on the side of the road." Did you see the tweets? And I was like, I'm not like condoning calling people names, but I felt like this was very much redemption
Hmm.
for the way she's treated Gino for so long and literally got away virtually scot free for everything that she's done to him. So when people were like that scene, I saw a lot of screenshots of her sitting on the side of the road or in the parking lot on a blanket with her raggedy ass coffee maker and her Fashion Nova dress on the ground, and they were like, "This is where you leave trash. You leave trash directly on the ground where
And,
it
and
belongs."
then it started raining on her.
Well, yeah. So it's I don't know why it made me happy to see that. And I'm not an evil person. I'm not a bad person, but it's like when karma finally tracks people down. It's like it's a good feeling, right? You're like, because it makes you realize that the world really does the universe really does come after people for doing bad things. And it seemed like for the longest time Jasmine was just getting away with being a horrible human being and with no consequence. And it's like she finally got thrown out on the side of the road like the trash that she was. And I was like, this is exactly the redemption that Gino needed, because he literally sat and took it. Everything that she did, he sat and took it, and nothing ever happened to her. And I thought it was really ironic that she was able to get broken up with by her husband, say he wanted a divorce, and then have a boyfriend that you can call on speed dial to come pick you up. Because I was like, how are you the victim here? Your husband is mad at you, so you call your boyfriend to come pick you up. Do you see the irony in that? You're not
Yeah.
supposed to have a boyfriend if you have a husband. The
Yeah.
irony is insane to me.
By the way, there's something I picked up on where unless you were paying close attention, you wouldn't have picked up on it. But like, it was in one of the Gino interviews where he was saying like, as far as the divorce, he was saying like, yeah, I'm waiting for there to be like a recession and then divorce.
yeah, I caught that. I caught that.
Well, I did too, and I was really confused
Hmm.
because what does a recession have to do with a divorce? Because when you're going through a divorce, they
I
go through your assets and your income. Gino doesn't have a job,
well,
so how
I
would a
think it's
recession?
in reference to like his stocks and stuff. He wants his stocks to go down, then he'll divorce her when the stocks are down. I don't know.
Well, see, this is why everyone was trying to convince him to get a prenuptial agreement signed. Remember that? Do you remember the prenuptial agreement
Yeah,
discussion that everybody was like, Gino, you should sign a prenup. This what is she? Panama chick,
Anyway,
sugar baby that you met randomly, you should protect yourself. And Gina's like, oh no, no. And Jasmine fought him tooth and nail with this prenup, and now we're understanding why. We know exactly why she fought him tooth and nail. So he's like, I can't divorce her now because I don't want to come out any money. I don't want to pay her off. And I was like, well, that's kind of your karma for not listening to when people told you, have this woman sign a prenup. And if she is in it for love, she won't have an issue signing that prenup. And she gave him literal hell when he brought it up. So that should have been a huge red flag right there that she was marrying him for a specific reason.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if he wants to divorce her, he's gonna have to pay. Like if you don't want to pay, you sign a prenup. If you think you're marrying for love and you bring up the prenup, their reaction is all the answer you need of whether or not they're marrying you for love or not. A woman or man will react very negatively when they're trying to get you for all your worth and you bring up the term prenup to them. It's gonna be a very big blow up, and that should be a huge red flag that you shouldn't be marrying this person.
Like, I know Gino was hanging out with the 90 Day Bad Boys in the last couple of days. Like, I'm trying to remember, has he been in a 90 Day Bad Boys video up until now?
He has
No.
not. He
Okay,
has
'cause
not.
I'm assuming they filmed one then.
Well,
Oh
yeah,
dear God.
whenever we see them hanging with someone, there's usually a video coming.
Hmm.
So, are you excited to see Gino in a 90 Day Bad Boys video? Is that something that you needed in your life, or is this something that we didn't know we needed but we want?
I will watch it with Gino since I'm a Gino homie. I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, I want to see Gino dance
Mhm.
because I feel like Gino is a rhythmless man. So I just because we watched Sarper do what I guess what he called dancing. I called it convulsing. But we saw Sarper in his video and it was very frightening. So I'm kind of curious to see what Gino would do in the video. Like, is he gonna dance? Is he gonna do something else? Like, I'm really interested in seeing what they would have done with someone who doesn't really have a lot of rhythm, right? But they worked it out with Sarper. He was able to participate, and that man has zero rhythm whatsoever.
True. So I mean, we obviously can go longer, but if we want to stick it to 30 minutes, we have like 5 minutes to want to talk about like Andre and Libby.
Oh, I mean, if you want to,
Okay,
um, I, I,
here's the only funny part was like, so they flew to Moldova, right?
yeah, they flew to
Yeah.
And
Moldova.
then it was funny when they were doing like drilling and shit, and the fucking room was shaking.
That is actually hilarious. It's funny because I'm not a Libby fan, but I can. Okay, so my pet peeve where I live, we have everybody's allowed to get their own landscaping. So the people that live on side of me, their landscapers show up at like 8 a.m.
Mhm.
and it pisses me off and it makes my blood boil. So it's funny because when Libby was like, I can't sleep, they've been doing like repair work on this apartment, and I heard it, and it was like the ceiling was shaking, the lights, and I was like, I ain't trying to be like, relating to her, but I feel that because
Mhm.
the tiniest buzz sound, like if I
Mhm.
hear a lawnmower buzzing just faintly, I can't sleep. So like I totally understood that because I was like, this reminds me of when I'm in New York City and I'm trying to go to sleep. No matter what time it is, all you hear is fucking car horns.
Mhm.
Like it reminded me of that. So I was like, yeah, I totally feel that. And did you see how humongous that high rise was? That apartment building. It reminded me of like in China where they have these massive high rises, and that idea of having like 100-story apartment building is terrifying for me. Because what if somebody's kitchen catches on fire or something? Now we're all in danger. Like that whole thing scared me.
Yeah, and then they had like what, 6 people using one bathroom?
Yeah, 6 people, one bathroom in that apartment, and Libby was trying to get a hotel, which I feel that too. Like I'm not a I'll stay with people person. I'm not like that. So I get that too. So I don't know why I've been relating to Libby tonight, but I was relating to her on several different points.
Yeah, I feel like they stayed with the parents because it'll be like better television than them staying in a hotel, like more interesting.
Well, plus the parents would get money out of it too, right? So,
Mm,
Yeah, and regardless, we're not going to get anything worth talking about out of this story.
yeah.
Because we know that they're not actually moving to Moldova. We know that they're not looking at real estate in Moldova. We know that this is because I was like, if anything, this should be on 90 Day Fiance the other way.
Mhm.
Isn't that literally the definition of 90 Day Fiance the other way when you're moving to
or
another country?
not even on our screens. Like, forget them being on. We're done with them. Like, let's move on. Like,
Well,
let's not have them on our screens anymore, people.
That would be the perfect world that we would live in. Yeah, we shouldn't be watching them. Oh, so we didn't get Lauren and Alexi and Jovi and Yara tonight. Did anybody
Thank
miss?
God.
Did anyone miss
No.
them? No?
No.
Oh, and Darcy and Georgie were also visibly absent tonight. So
Yeah, we
um
didn't miss any of them.
we got a lot of Tiger Puff and
Yeah,
Adnan.
we didn't talk about Tiger Puff and Anna.
Yeah, we got a lot of them tonight. And we found out that Adnan smokes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a huge deal for Tiger Puff.
Well,
So
wasn't there like that video on Instagram where she threw out all of his vapes or something? Or
yeah, I remember. Okay, yeah. So she got all his vapes and threw them in the recycling bin.
I'm trying to. I'm having a brain fart though. Like, did he throw out her vapes or did she throw
He
out?
threw out her vapes because I think I recall your Jenny from Toronto. We were all talking about it,
Yeah,
like,
because he
and
went
who
outside.
builds who.
Went
Yeah,
outside and threw them out.
Oh, that's ironic. So she vapes, but she was mad that he smokes.
Yeah.
That is a little ironic, and that's very hip. That's a hypocrite move. You
Hmm.
know, like if you want somebody to stop doing something, you would need to not do it as well. And I didn't think that you could smoke as a Muslim because I
you
believe,
can't.
yeah, because your body is a temple.
Well,
I'm correct,
yeah,
right? They consider your body a temple, so you don't put anything in it that could damage your body. So,
yeah,
smoking, drugs, drinking, all of those things would be against his religion.
yeah. So that proves he's like deep down, he's a Muslim light.
Well, yeah, like most Muslim
What?
men on the show, they're very Muslim like. They can break the rules, but you as a newly converted person cannot, which
Hmm.
I think
Or
has
as a
been
woman, you
well,
cannot.
well, yeah, you're right. As a woman, you have to follow every rule to the T, but as a man, you just follow the ones that you like.
Hmm.
And then that's okay, which I don't know. This whole Tiger Puff and Adnan thing and he's very controlling. So Gina, what did you think of the ultrasound location that looked like it was in someone's house? It didn't look like a medical facility to me. Did you catch that? Were you paying
It
attention?
it did not, but yet they're in Texas, right? So it was just
Yeah.
like they're probably like she doesn't even have enough money to like she can only afford an extended stay. She can't even afford a proper hotel. How is she gonna like afford a proper doctor's office?
But it didn't look like a doctor's office. It was really weird.
No, how is she gonna afford a doctor? She can't. She's
Well,
been living in a hotel for a year.
she should have insurance because she's gonna be giving birth to a child. Like you gotta have insurance because having a baby is
But does
extreme.
she have insurance though?
I'm assuming her ex-husband would have to insure the kids at least.
Her kid, his kids, not this kid. This
But
kid's not his.
well, no, it's not his. But I'm assuming if he's providing insurance for those kids, you would. So wait, you think that he's providing insurance for the kids and not her?
Yeah,
Oh, that's kind of
you can
shady.
remove people off your insurance.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Interesting. I mean, this whole thing though, like I'm really tired of their storyline and I'm tired of they're trying to they do the Matt and Amani thing where they're like, look how rich we are, look how rich we are, look how rich we are. And it's like rich people never brag about being rich because
They
it's
don't
not
flaunt it.
yeah, it's not important to them because they're just rich. So their whole storyline is like, oh, we're driving a Lamborghini and we're wearing designer sunglasses and
It's
we
leased and it's fake. It's from Timu. Like
it's
Lamborghini is rented for the day. The sunglasses are from Timu, right? You can get designer shit no problem from anywhere. That's
well,
cheap and it's fake.
I've never met a person who drove a Lamborghini but parked it in front of a Howard Johnson extended stay. I've never met that.
There you
It's a
go.
super weird vibe because it's like, why would you do that? Have you ever seen the meme? I think Captain posted it last week on Twitter. It's like a Lamborghini or like some sort of really nice car and it's parked next to like a double wide
Yes,
trailer.
yes.
And that's kind of like what they remind me of. They're like, we gotta flaunt how rich we are, but then they park it, next to whatever hole in the wall place that they're living in the moment, and it's just I don't know.
It was funny though when they're doing the ultrasound and he was all like, "Put up some shutters," and the only camera woman can film her head, not her stomach.
Yeah,
So that was kind of funny.
I mean,
no men allowed.
no men were allowed to look at her stomach, which I didn't know her stomach was like a body part you couldn't look at.
Mhm.
So what's going to happen when she gives birth? There's going to be a mix of female and male doctors. Is he going to be like, you can't be in here?
That's a
Uh,
good question. That's actually a good question. That because um a delivery doctor can be a male or female, and the nurses can be male or female. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
yeah, what if they have like a gay male nurse?
He doesn't even like her gay friend.
Hmm. Oh, oh, Georgia muted.
Yeah, sorry, I keep sneezing.
Okay. True. Well, anyway, that's the Adnan thing, and we did a good 33 minutes.
No, that's not bad. That's not bad for what we had to work with. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Which is basically nothing. I see the future. I see the future, and I don't see it's bright with these shows. We have to make do with it. So
Yeah, I had to bring up some random story about a friend getting banged in the backside to make it interesting.
It's
my friend doesn't even watch 90 Day anymore. I
Is
was
your
with her
friend
today.
a link to your friend to listen or something?
I told her, but I think she TK'd out from the food and the booze earlier. I think she's gone. She's like
well,
she's gone.
if someone doesn't watch 90 Day anymore, it's going to be increasingly difficult to change that now. Like this isn't the season to change someone's mind.
Yeah.
No, she just stopped watching it because she's like, it's boring. She said she used to watch it with her fiance all the time. She's just like, now it's just boring. I'm like, well, you can always tune into the show. It's always funnier than the actual show. She's just like, I might have to. You're gonna have to send me those links on Spotify. And I'm like, I will do that.
True. All right, well, I guess we should end it because we have to save energy for another Hunt for Love episode tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
sure. We'll be discussing who brought up the rumor about Elise having sex with Rob because that's the recurring theme so far.
We're still on that. Oh
That's
my
where that's where
God.
we ended last week. It's just every week it revisits itself like a genital wart.
Mm.
God, it's like a plague and an STD that won't go away. Oh well.
Do you like the raccoon thing I reposted?
I
Yes, I
did.
saw that.
I did like the raccoon thing. That is like the new meme for the show. Like I'm obsessed with the raccoons now.
Yeah, I saw
The
Jennifer.
raccoons make for better shows.
I saw Jennifer looked at the story that I tagged her on, but she didn't give it a like, but it's okay.
Oh, rude. Well, she's spying on you, so at least you know that.
True. So that's I guess all right, so should we end it?
Yeah, we'll end it
Yeah.
and we'll be back tomorrow to talk about some Hunt for Love.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, it's 1 after 1 a.m. So on a school night. So anyway, thank you to our live listeners, Lana, and Pineapple Girl, and Sherry, and all of you. Thank you for tuning in with us late. So anyway, that wraps up another episode of 90 Day Fiance Fridays
On a Sunday.
Sunday.
everybody.
Peace out,
Good
everybody.
night.